So I used to have very wealthy neighbors that were elderly. The man was, I believe, in his 80s, and the woman was nearly 70. And the man, he was a gentleman. He was like very, very nice. And he was in his dying days. So his wife had to find someone to occasionally like check up on him. And you know what? I got along really well with this gentleman. He was really funny and he worked in marketing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend a few hours with this dude. And you know, I was able to eat anything in their kitchen. Me and this gentleman, we would talk about marketing and all sorts of stuff. So their house was on a street that was one of the wealthiest in that neighborhood. It was like overlooking the city. And you know, I didn't know much about their background or like how they got rich. But you know, there was times that he was starting to forget like where he was, who he was, this kind of thing. You know, he'd be like, "Oh, whose house is this?" But he was always very, very nice to me, very courteous. He's like, "Oh, young lady, it's nice to see you. I'm not sure who you are." So I'd call his wife on the phone and he would talk to her, and you know, she would always say, "Can you put it on loudspeaker so Jay can hear?" And he was like, "Whose house is this? You know, it's so beautiful. How can we afford to pay for me to stay here?" And then, you know, she said that actually it's our house. You're currently, you know, staying at our house. And then just from several conversations like this, I would piece together that like multi-million dollar house was actually bought by the wife. The wife had inherited quite a lot of money. And then from my conversations with him, he let it slip that the wife used to be, well, graduated as a lawyer. And the one thing that I picked up was when he said that it's very unfortunate that she, you know, is very smart and trained to be a barrister, but didn't choose to go with that career path. And I was like, "Oh, why is that sad?" And he was like, "Because it would have earned more money." So here I am thinking, oh, this man has like this beautiful house which his wife bought. And he's thinking about how regretful it is that she didn't make more money. And you know, bless his soul, he was a gentleman to me. He was very polite, but he gave me a lesson about men that will follow me, you know, forever.